So in about a little over 5 hours from now, upon the making of this video, we're going to be getting our very first auto PvP event, Master League Season 0, and I'm going to give you guys one more video to help you guys prepare. What's up everybody, Fortexfiend here. Welcome back to another video on SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, and in this video, we're going to talk about tags, particularly the tags that I feel will perform the best in terms of team compositions for this upcoming auto battle PvP event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into here. Now, I am going to be using my whale account as an example for this because I have more units on my whale account just to show which of the tags coincide with them, so then that way you guys have a visual. I understand that those of you that are free to play may not have all of these units, but again, they're there for a visual. And for those of you that are free to play, there were guides when this game first came out about who you should reroll for, how many URs you should be going for, this and that, this and that. So I'm expecting free-to-play players that have been playing this game, hopefully since day one, that you guys have at least 2 to 3 URs at your disposal. So let's go ahead and jump right into upgrade here. Now, I picked 3 tags that I personally feel that will be performing the best in this upcoming PvP event. Now, I've already spoken to several of my Discord members about this, and we're all pretty much in agreement on these tags, one of them especially because of a specific advantage that it has. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with the tag called Unstoppable. So I'm gonna go ahead and filter Unstoppable. And remember, with this PvP event, units that have the protagonist or rival tag are going to get a stat bonus. So what you want to do is you want to find units of either of those tags and then also make sure they possess one of the 3 tags that I'm talking about here. So these are going to be the units that are part of the Unstoppable tag. And the reason why I think Unstoppable is going to be one of the tag teams that's going to be having a good advantage is the units that are present in that particular tag. For example, right off the bat, I already see Exia as a member of the Unstoppable tag. And Exia currently, even upon where the game is at right now, is still one of the best attackers in the games in terms of UR. And I know a lot of you free-to-play players, when you guys re-rolled, a lot of you guys re-rolled for Exia, so you probably already have this unit at your disposal. So this is one of the reasons why I give this tag a decent advantage going into this PvP event. Not only that, but you also see options such as Lesigna, if you pulled Lesigna, or even Phoenix Unleashed. And if you're free to play and you have the resources to do so, you can also use the Zeta Gundam 3 P2 type, which is a fantastic free-to-play option, albeit it does cost a lot of resources to get it to UR and its second UR form. But if you're able to do so, it's actually a really, really strong unit. And if you take a look at some of the debuffs that this particular unit offers, you see right here, defense down, which is fantastic. It has damage taken from special weapons up, which, as we know with Exia, one of its skills is actually considered a special weapon. Not that one, but Transam, you know? And we don't know exactly how the AI is going to behave in this, but this is pretty much one of the reasons why I think the Unstoppable tag is going to be one of the premier tag choices on top of protagonist and rival for this particular event. And if you take a look at the SSRs that are available for it, you have the G-Quux is there, which has the protagonist tag as well. You have Tallgeese 2, which is a fantastic free-to-play option for a defender. You also have Goldframe Astray if you happen to have farmed up that unit when that event was out. And then if you take a look at like the Gacha SSRs, you got Rising Freedom, which was a Gacha SSR that I had talked about. So there are definitely options. Just make sure that when you are checking out the Unstoppable tag, you want to make sure that one of the units that you're looking at either has the rival or the protagonist tag. And also, the reason why I mentioned the Unstoppable tag is if we filter the warships with that particular tag based on their leader skills, there is a supporter ship that you may have pulled that can definitely be useful in utilizing an Unstoppable team. So you have either Marina or you have Frederick. If you have Marina, even better, because that one will provide an additional stat boost to Unstoppable units. So if you have a mix of like protagonist and rival with Unstoppable, it's going to be fantastic. Or if you had pulled Frederick, that's another option. It's an SSR option. That's going to be one of the 3 tags that I feel like would be very, very useful for team building for this particular event. Now, the second tag that I want to highlight, so we're going to go ahead and filter out Unstoppable. So the next one I want to talk about is PSYCOMMU, and the reason why is because currently upon the making of this video, there is a banner currently live that does feature a ship that focuses on boosting up that particular tag. And look who's available right now for PSYCOMMU. In terms of your attackers, you got Zeta Gundam, you got Unicorn, and you got Sazabi, who Sazabi is still also considered one of the better attackers in the game. Zeta Gundam, the P2 type is also there. Phoenix Gundam is there as well. You also got Lastigna, so you can kind of mix and match there if you want to run like a hybrid team of like protagonist, rival, maybe Unstoppable, maybe PSYCOMMU, but there's options that are available here. I see Quinn Mantha, who's a fantastic free-to-play option. Narrative Gundam Apex, if you happen to have pulled that UR, is also there. The O, the supporter version, is there as well, including the free-to-play O option, which is a durability. G-Quux is there right there, full armor double Zeta. So this particular tag in PSYCOMMU is another fantastic tag that I think if you build your team around this particular tag and also utilize the protagonist or rival tags like a mix and match, you'll definitely benefit from the stat boost and have a pretty sizable advantage, in my opinion, based on who you have available. Now, in terms of supporter warships, we're going to go ahead and filter it out there. So I'm going to go ahead and select PSYCOMMU. And I'm going to go ahead and filter out Unstoppable. And as you can see, that ship is available right there. And this is the one that if you happen to have pulled it, if you pull on the Zeta banner, is going to be your ship of choice. So this is one of the reasons why I think this particular tag as well will be giving you a pretty sizable advantage going into this PvP event. Now, the final tag, and I'm pretty sure it's unanimous that you guys know which tag I'm going to be talking about, which I think will perform the best, is going to be the ever so popular one-shot killer. Now, just look at who is available for this. You have Striker Custom, which is considered one of the most powerful single-target attackers in the game. Sazabi is on there as well. We got the Justice Gundam, who is one of our newer Defender units on there. You have Strike Freedom, which is arguably the best attacker in the game right now. You have Ariel, who's considered one of the best supports. Aquarius, if you had built up Aquarius, is another one that's fantastic. You have S Gundam, which I talked about S Gundam in my last video as being one of the better attacking Gacha SSRs for the protagonist tag, is also a part of One-Shot Killer. You have Freedom Gundam, who's another fantastic support. For free-to-play, you got Wing Gundam, Gundam Epion, even Gundam Astray Red Frame, Gundam Ariel, Master Gundam. There's so many different options with this particular tag, and one of the reasons also why this tag has the most advantage is take a look at the ship. You guys know what I'm getting at here, but if you happen to have pulled this ship when the banner was out that featured it, it's going to be Lacus and Eternal. This is arguably the best ship in the game right now. One, because it is limited, and the stat boost that it gives is actually a little bit greater compared to all of the other warship supporters that are out. Now, I am aware that there is another warship of this particular tag. It's the one with Tifa. I believe she's from Gundam X, if I'm not mistaken, but that is the other one-shot killer tagged warship supporter that is available. So this is the reason why I feel that one-shot killer is probably going to be the best tag in terms of team composition to use. And again, remember, make sure to check the unit, make sure they have the protagonist or rival tag first, and then afterwards filter it out by the Unstoppable or One-Shot Killer or PSYCOMMU tags, depending on the resources that you have available. Now, as a free-to-play player, you're probably going to be asking, hey, 40, I don't have any of those warships that you mentioned. I got unlucky, or I decided not to pull on the Strike Freedom banner. So what can I use as my supporter options? Well, there are several solid options. Now, albeit it's not going to be as effective as if you have these warships, but I'm going to go ahead and point out two that I can already think of off the top of my head. So right over here, for those quest lines that we did for the beginner and intermediate, we were able to earn these warships that either powered up the UC series or the alternative series. And there's plenty of units. Actually, I think almost every unit will have either one of these tags. And then there's a ton of them that have either protagonists and rivals. So if you're free to play, you don't have a lot of warship options available, and you're wondering which ones you should use and which ones you should team build around, these two are great options here. They don't give the best stat boost in terms of the ones that I just showed you, but they're there for you as an option if you're free to play and you're looking for options. Now, I am aware that there's other ones that I'm going to go ahead and highlight them right now for free-to-play players. It does require a little bit of like selling off some units. So you could make a bunch of balls or whatever you want to do and get some GP. And you can also pick up these free-to-play warships as well. So this one powers up Protagonist, which is awesome. It also has an HP heal. This is a decent ship that you could get right here. Or you could also get this one, which powers up Rival. So these are also here for you in the event that you don't have either like a UR warship of the 3 aforementioned tags that I talk about, or like an SSR warship even. If you don't have access to those and you're looking for free-to-play options, this is another one as well. So that's going to be it in terms of this video. I do want to go into a little bit of like a team building example of how I would personally build a team for this particular event. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go to a stage just for the purposes of this video. And again, remember, I am using my whale account. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I have more options available, and that way you guys have a visual. But you guys essentially can use it as like a primer in terms of like team building. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to start building a team. So let's say I want to go with Protagonist Rival, obviously, because we get the stat boost. And then I want to go... Let's just go with, I'm going to go with Unstoppable. Why not, right? Because I already know everybody's going to hopefully be using one-shot killer, a majority of us, right? But I'm going to go with something a little different. I'm going to go with Unstoppable. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to pick my attacker for Unstoppable, and it's going to be Exia. Actually, let's start off with Supporter first. So I'm going to go ahead and put Lasigna. There we go. And then for the pilot, there's 2 great choices that I have right off the top of the bat. Since I have them either Asuna or Shiroko, I'm going to just match the pilot up just for the purposes of this video. And then afterwards, for my second support, I'm going to be choosing, to make it a little bit more free-to-play friendly. Let's do, just as an example, let's do Rising Freedom. Rising Freedom, where are you? Let's go ahead and filter by that tag, which is Unstoppable. There we go. Okay. So Rising Freedom, I'm going to go ahead and choose you. There you are. Now, I do want to double check something because I want to make sure it coincides with my attacker, because I don't memorize all the debuffs. So we have a defense down available to us. And okay, cool. So Exia does have some options that's available for those particular attack types. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And for the purposes of the video, let's go ahead and put a pilot that's a little bit more on the free-to-play friendly side, just to give an example. So I am going to put, let's see, I'm going to go with Gaia. Just why not, right? Let's just go with Gaia. We got Gaia as a free-to-play SSR pilot. Okay, so now that I have my 2 supporters, I'm going to go ahead and select my defender now. So since I am using the Unstoppable tag, I'm going to go with something a bit more free-to-play friendly with Tall Geese 2. Tall Geese 2 has Rival and Unstoppable. And then afterwards, for my defender, I want to choose a pilot that can technically double defend, has a double defense support. So I'm going to go with Mika. Now I'm just going to double check just to make sure that this will actually work. So we're going to take a look at details and go to ability. Okay, so we have the double. Okay, there we go. So it does look like the support +1 defense needs to happen with a Takadan, which unfortunately that unit doesn't have it. So let's try Jonah. Let's see if Jonah can capitalize. Oh, so you need EFSF. Okay, well, it's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and use Jonah as an example for this. Okay, so I've chosen my durability unit. Now we're going to go into my attacker. So my first attacker is going to be Exia, obviously. Best attacker that I have currently. And I'm just going to match Exia up with Setsuna right over here, which Setsuna is here. Perfect. And then finally, I'm going to go with a second attacker. So the way that I'm going to do that first is I already know that this Rising Freedom has a beam debuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at Lasigna's just to make sure of what we have. We have damage taken from beam from the AoE. Awesome. And then also defense down 30%. So it looks like we're going to be looking for another beam attacker. We got to make sure that we do have that tag, either Rival or Protagonist. So let's take a look at Amatsu. So Amatsu has, okay, Rival and Unstoppable. Perfect. Okay, so we got, let's see here, Beam Saber is beam. Okay, this one is special, so it won't get, the debuff won't really affect it, and this one is physical. Okay, so we only have this one. Let me see if there's any other ones here. No, it doesn't look like, does not look like there is, because I know none of these units that I'm looking at here, I know that I did not I didn't discuss them in my last SSR videos for protagonist and rival. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that one just as an option. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the free-to-play attacker right there. Perfect. Okay, so there is my unstoppable team, mixing it in with either the protagonist or rival tag. Now, in terms of the ship, because I have that ship available, we're going to go ahead and choose that. And as you can see, I get the stat boost because it is of the unstoppable tag. So that is my team example if I were to show you guys how I was going to build my team for this upcoming PvP event, with both the protagonist and rival tags taken into account, and also the unstoppable tag, which is one of the 3 tags which I personally feel will have a pretty sizable advantage in terms of team building. But let me know what you guys think down below. Hopefully this video helps you guys prepare. Again, upon the making of this video, we have several hours until the event drops. And I also feel like this video will be helpful as the event is currently live, because for those of you that might jump into the event later, or for maybe a newer player that is starting the game and is looking for team examples, this video is also here to help you out for the duration that this PvP event is out. But let me know what you guys think down below. Please don't forget to just have fun. It's not the end of the world if you can't beat a whale team or whatnot. You know, remember, this particular PvP event is all about personal score merit. Think of it as like Dokkan Battles World Tournament, where you score against teams, then you go up a tier and you get better rewards. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm trying not to stress or have anxiety over it, because there's other things that I could be stressing about right now. I just want to have fun. So just a reminder, make sure that you're going into this event with the intent of just purely having fun and just enjoy yourselves, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for the next one, and stay blessed, everybody.